Back on top, number one in the world again, baby. This guy, Roger Federer, the 36-year-old, almost 37-year-old man, is now number one ranked tennis player in the world. He's got 20 majors. He started the year with 12 wins in a row, 0 losses. If we count Hopman Cup, he's got almost 20 wins, and 3 of them over players ranked in the top 5 in the world. He's already won 2 tournaments in 2018, which, if you think about it, makes it technically a more impressive start to the year than 2017, which we all remember how great last year was. And now he's 3 tournaments away from a whopping 100 career titles on the ATP Tour, second only to Jimmy Connors at 109, a record that some crazy people have been telling me Roger can beat this year. So naturally, Fed heads, not just fans of Federer, but Raw fans, Joker faces, 1% Murrays, David Goffin fans, Del Potro fans, grown-up Fed Dimitrov fans around the world are wondering what's next for Roger Federer. Where's he going to play? What record is he going to break? That's what we're talking about in today's show. Let's get into it. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis, the fastest growing tennis talk show in the world. I'm your host, Matt Bradshaw, the only tennis pundit where you never know what kind of socks I'm going to have. They don't match. They don't have to match because my feet are never in the frame. But now, my dark secret has been revealed. Want to thank you from the whole Crunch Time Coaching family for being here today. If you like the Coffee Break Tennis videos, make sure you smash subscribe or just give us a little forehand volley on the thumbs up button. Let us know you like what's going on here. You can always comment below. Let us know what you want. Let us know what you think. Coffee Break Tennis is brought to you by Crunch Time Coaching, a tennis player's best friend, a tennis player's ultimate resource. Crunch Time Coaching is a worldwide leader in online tennis instruction. If you play this wonderful game, go to Crunch Time Coaching on YouTube right now. Start improving your serve, your forehand, your backhand, your volley, anything about your game. Go there, start improving it today. You can click up there on the card if you're using the YouTube app. So today's show, we're going to talk about the Federer schedule because that's what I'm hearing the most on comments, tweets, all around the world. That's what people want to know the most. But I do have 2 interesting pieces here, neither of them from the Express, that we will get into before the show's over. So stick around because there's some really good stuff in the second piece I'm going to do, written by a writer who's lived in Dubai for several years and really has developed a feel for the energy of Februar, as they say in Deutschland, or und die Schweiz. Februar in Dubai gets really exciting because people start speculating, is Roger coming? Is Roger going to be here soon? So we go to my Twitter spy, which, by the way, I just saw on the TV behind you guys on a tennis channel not too long ago. Justin Gimelstob using this very source that my Twitter spy sent to me many hours ago today. Sorry, Gimelstob and Tennis Channel. I had it first. Ubi Tennis. This is from Cole J. Thomas. You can follow Cole at Cole Thomas 88 on the Twitter. One of my many Twitter spies have their ears tuned, picking up the tennis news faster than anyone else, sending it to me so I can make a show about it. Thank you, Cole, and other Twitter spies like you. Ubi Tennis, Federer, I'll decide about Dubai in the upcoming days. Then, after that, another quote from Federer. This one, I can't remember where I said it. Did I tweet it? Did I write it back to someone in a comment below? I don't know. I didn't take the time to find it today. But I said days ago that someone asked me, will Roger play the French? And I said, look, Roger doesn't know that yet. I guarantee you Roger doesn't know that yet. And I bet you he's probably not going to start really thinking about it seriously until after Miami is over. Until either he's won it or he's lost and he's going home. Guess what Roger said? Federer. After Miami, I'll decide about clay season. It won't be a full clay court season for sure. I mean, that's exactly what I said. I said Roger will probably play only Monte Carlo in the French Open, just 2. That's what I imagine. And I still think there's a chance he'll skip it because I feel like a lot of people in the Fed team are going to say, look, Roger, we trust what you think is best. If you want to do it, go for it because we believe that you could win the French Open. It's possible. But we really believe that you could win Wimbledon, and if you follow the same formula from last year, you got a great shot. And that's the thing. Roger ultimately must care the most about winning these major titles. We know number 1 is important now, but we still know that winning. I mean, Roger already answered. He's already been asked this question in the press. I can't remember exactly who asked him or when exactly, but during the week at Rotterdam in Nederland, Roger said to a reporter or somebody, he said, I already have what I came for. I got the number 1 ranking, oldest man ranked number 1 record. That was the big thing. I already have that, so I would rather have Wimbledon than finish the year ranked number 1. That's what Roger said. One more Wimbledon over finishing the year at number 1. I think there's a good chance he does both of those things this year. So many of you have tweeted to me that you feel like Roger could get over, he could do too much. Maybe the back could get hurt. They think about last year at Montreal where he should have skipped it. I said he was going to skip it because it made sense to me that was the smart way to go. If Roger wanted his best chance at winning the U.S. Open, skip Montreal, go Cincinnati where the courts are so fast and Roger always plays very well there. Very likely he wins Cincinnati. I was there. Very likely I would have saw it and asked him a fabulous question, but the world never got to hear the answer to my fabulous questions for Roger because he played Montreal, hurt his back, had to skip Cincinnati, compromised at the U.S. Open, loses to Del Potro. So people are thinking about that in regards to Dubai. But what I'm thinking, and what other fans of Federer are thinking, is he can really protect this number 1 ranking and not let Rafa get it back, which isn't bad, right? If you're a Fed fan, sounds nice if you think about it. So this is who's playing. This is the entry list for Dubai. This is what the team is weighing. Federer could face scary opponents in Dubai who would surely end his awesome start to the year. Guys like Grigor Dimitrov, grown-up Fed. We saw what he can do today. Ooh, so scary. Luca Pui, Roberto Bautista Agut. I saw Bautista Agut play 2 tight tiebreak sets in Miami against Roger last year. Great match. Great stuff. Not a big threat to Roger. We all know that. Damir Zoomer, who had a acting career before tennis. Not a big threat. Richard Gasquet. I saw Roger beat him in like 39 minutes in Miami one year. Not worried about him. Krajinovic. Yuichi Sugita, who I love watching, but come on, he's not a threat to Roger. Benoit Paire. A lot of people forget last year, they think that Roger lost first round in Dubai to #Donskoy debacle brought to you by ##. But before the #Donskoy debacle brought to you by ##, Roger took Benoit Paire to the woodshed, destroyed the guy. A lot of people forget about that. Roger was looking good in that Benoit Paire match. And of course, we had the Donskoy debacle, #Donskoy debacle brought to you by ##. Robin Haase, who we know will get sick and throw up in the third set, so he's not a threat to Roger. Paolo Lorenzi, clay court guy. Coric, he's a dangerous player, but not to Roger. Roger can neutralize all of his best weapons. Karen Khachanov, another player who Roger can totally neutralize, although capable of pushing Roger, really making Roger come up with the goods. Roger will most likely come up with the goods. And then who else is there? There's a German player waiting in Dubai to upset Roger. And of course, it's Jan-Lennard Struff. Struff. Is it Struff? Is it Struff? We'll never know. Sounds like Chewbacca. Struff. Struff. That sounds better. Dennis Istomin, who's good for a win over Djokovic, but not Roger. Morer, protected ranking. Tricky Troitsky, not tricky for Roger. Nishioka, protected ranking. And Meyer, isn't that guy retired? I thought he retired. The old German guy who won in Halle. Roger beat him in Halle 4 years ago or something. Anyways, there's not much going on in Dubai. So that's what the Federer team is weighing. Those guys are in Dubai. I mean, come on, we know. It's a 500-level tournament. There have been years where Roger and Joker met in Dubai. Very exciting. Best years ever for Dubai. But hey, let's get into my first story of the day. This is from a guy named Howard Fendrich at the AP, I believe. Yeah, he's an AP writer, Associated Press. This was picked up by abcnews.com. And it's called Fendrich on Tennis, Federer's Belief in Self Never Wavered. By the way, you can follow Mr. Fendrich on the Twitters at Howard Fendrich, Fendrich. Even after he went more, Roger he's talking about, than 4 years without winning a Grand Slam, even after the first operation of his career led to the first prolonged absence of his career, even after a slide down to the 17th spot in the rankings, Roger Federer never wavered. When you think about it, makes quite a bit of sense when you consider that he is, after all, Roger Federer. Good point, Fendrich. Shortly after Friday, turned to Saturday in Rotterdam, Nederland, where Federer assured himself of rising from number 2, surpassing Rafa in the rankings, reaching the semifinals at the indoor tournament. He spoke via telephone to a couple of reporters, and he was asked by the Associated Press what one factor was most essential to his career renaissance. Maybe my positivity, Federer replied, in my belief that I could get back to number 1 and I could get back to winning ways. Even in the difficult moments, I was upbeat, I must say. He didn't do it alone, of course, and made sure to make reference to the group around him, which includes coaches Severin Luthi, Ivan Lubicic, and physical therapist Pierre Paganini, who is much more important to the team than many of you would think. Pierre Paganini is very behind the scenes. He's basically the guy who's worked with Roger since Roger was a teenager to make that body hold up, play all these years of great tennis, and still do it at 36 at the highest level imaginable. Pierre Paganini's been there for the whole ride, so that guy gets a lot of credit. I'd give him more credit than Lubicic for sure. Not that they were trying to assert anything different than what I'm saying in this article. Just want you to know, in case you didn't know. Pierre Paganini, he's the guy who's got Roger the fittest tennis player in history, possibly. I need the final push by my team, said Roger. That's why I always ask about how important they are, because without them, honestly, there's no chance I could have done this. That's what Roger's saying. And if the majority, one person would have told me, look, I think your days are done, then I also think it would be a different situation today, Roger said, but everybody kind of believed in me. Again, Findrich points out, why not believe in him? Who's really going to question Roger Federer? On the other hand, plenty of folks did, and then he cites all the people that we talked about in my video after Roger won. I cited lots of the media people who said Roger will never win another major, so we already have that. Didn't need that part of the story. While the younger rivals, Nadal, Djokovic, Murray, all spent time at number one in recent seasons, Federer always trusted he could reassert himself. Roger mentioned words like resilience, fighting, describing the traits that got him back to where he used to be and is now again. Roger spoke of trying to reinvent myself again to some extent. But, Roger concluded, I think it all comes with my positivity and the enjoyment I take from the game. Federer was asked by another reporter who would win, this is the best part, who would win a match if the guy who first made it to number one at age 22 played against the guy who's ranked number one today, age 36. Roger laughed, and then he answered that Federer of today would come out on top. Federer says, I feel like tennis has gotten faster, we have less time, we hit harder, I've done it for a longer period of time, to hit through the ball off both wings harder. I serve more consistently well. I feel like this guy would beat the other guy. That is who I pick. So Roger says, old me, 36-year-old me, is better than 22-year-old me who first got to number one in the world 14 years ago. That is what it takes to do these great things that we see Roger Federer doing now. That kind of confidence. To be asked a question like that, which keep in mind is pretty tough to answer. You need a time machine to really be sure. To be asked a question like that and then answer with full confidence that old man, grumpy old goat Roger, 36, would easily destroy the young gun 22-year-old Roger. It takes a lot of confidence to be so sure of that. And that's what Roger has. That's what he never lost. That's why I talked about it in that video I made right after Roger won the Australian Open. I'll put a end screen at the end of this video. You can click on it if you want to see it if you haven't seen it before. But basically, I said how important it was that you, at home, believe in yourself no matter what. It doesn't matter if the biggest media outlets in the world are printing stories saying you're finished, you're done. It doesn't matter if in your own head you have your own self-doubts about what you can do. Just believe that the thing you want to do so bad, you can work hard enough and make it happen. You heard it from me before, but now you've heard it straight from Roger Federer. He doesn't lie. He doesn't hide it. It's all about the confidence, never losing belief, never wavering. So should Roger skip the French? Should he play Dubai? That's what I want to know from you. Comment below. We're going to get out of here, but the last thing before we get out of here, I got another story from a writer in Dubai. This is from golfnews.com, written by a sports editor. Probably I'm not saying the name right, but I'll do my best. Gautam Bhattacharya. He writes, keep in mind this guy's been living in Dubai. Well, let me just read it. It's been well over a decade since I have based out of Dubai with family, and believe it or not, there are certain telltale signs around February in Swiss German, every year that sets my alarm bells ringing that the tennis time is drawing near. In a recent interview with Golf News, the tournament director of Dubai, Salah Talak, tried to address the obvious question of the absence of a single name of the Big Four. Of course, he's talking about Roger Federer. So this article is basically saying someone like Federer can make or break a tournament, but not at Dubai, because he's saying basically the things that Roger's done, the great players who've been in Dubai, have created these wonderful memories for the fans that will keep the momentum going even after players retire. And I think it's very interesting. If the turn of events has made Grigor Dimitrov the only player in the top 10 to feature in the lineup as a top seed, it begs the obvious question in the context of men's tennis rather than just Dubai: what happens to the men's game after the Big Four? Such doubts, I am sure, cannot really rob the 2-week extravaganza of tennis of its usual festive feel. If I know Dubai right, the show will surely go on. And I think he's right. I think as long as you have a rich history of, great memories of tennis. If you live near a tournament, you might know what I'm talking about. I've been to Miami and seen Federer play there 3 times. So Miami will always be just awesome. I've seen Nadal versus Djokovic there in the final. I've seen a lot of cool stuff in Miami. So even if those players aren't there 5 years from now, I'm still likely to go back because I have all these great memories. And you better rest assured, there's plenty of young tennis talent around the world being inspired by Rafa and Djokovic and Murray and Stan and Delpo and Roger and so many great players. I'm leaving out tons of great names who they might not be the most famous player, but trust me, there's a player who plays tennis and sees something that says, well, I like this player more than Roger because this player's backhand reminds me more of my own backhand. Stuff like that. There's these young guns who are so inspired. They love the game. They're working really hard right now. You might not think about it, but they're working really hard so that they can get to these tournaments and blow your mind with their amazing abilities on a tennis court. So don't give up on the sport if you're one of those people worried about it. Just know that these tournaments will go on because of the wonderful things that these great players have done. That's it for me today, folks. Thank you for watching Coffee Break Tennis. I promised a schedule, so here it is before we go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment below what you think about Roger's schedule and what you think about my schedule, because we're going to be doing Coffee Break Tennis starting Thursday. I'm going to skip Monday this week because it's Sunday and we're doing a show. Mondays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. in India. I believe that's 4 p.m. in the UK, and very, very late in Australia. Sorry. Thursdays, 11 a.m. as well. Every Monday and Thursday, 11 a.m., Coffee Break Tennis will come out on YouTube, and it'll just be wonderful. And during the big tournaments, obviously, we'll change the schedule a little bit. I'll be sure to let you know in advance. Thanks for watching Coffee Break Tennis, and I'll see you Thursday, 11 a.m. East Coast time, right here in the USA. See ya!